CoolersOnSale.com here for another ice challenge. We're going to call this one the Ultimate Ice Challenge. Coolers between 40 and 60 quarts. This is what most people have asked for as a result of our 5-day ice challenge. We're going to run this one as long as these coolers will hold ice. Same principle. The coolers have been pre-chilled now for 24 hours and we topped them back up with ice. We'll show you that as we get the test going, and we're going to open them 3 times a day like we did last time. There's 5 waters on top. We're going to rotate them 3 times a day to simulate actual use. The beverage from the top to the bottom to the top 3 times a day. We're going to take temperature readings usually in the afternoon because that's when it's the hottest. It is now noon in Florida and it is already scorching, so these coolers are going to sit out on the dock all day and night, and should be, I think, 90 degrees almost every day this week. So without further ado, let's take a look at the coolers, show you that they are in fact filled to capacity with the 5 waters, and we'll give you the rundown of what coolers we have in there. First up, the Yeti Tundra 45. Not quite 45 quarts, 37 quarts, but it's close enough. Filled to capacity, 5 waters on top. Followed by the Siberian 40. This was our biggest cooler in the 5-day ice challenge, and we've got a 40 quart here sitting right next to the Yeti, filled to capacity. This is a 40 quart cooler. Followed by the Grizzly 40. This is a tan cooler, and we also have a white cooler to follow, but this is the one from the 5-day ice challenge, but this is the 40 quart filled to capacity. Followed by the same cooler, the Grizzly 40 over here, but this is just in white. We're going to see how much cooler color affects the ice retention. In the first ice challenge, we didn't think much, but I think it might have a role now that it's much hotter. This is the Igloo 40. This is a part of the Sportsman series, filled to capacity. Next up is the Orion 45. This cooler is brought to us by the same company that makes Jackson kayaks, filled to capacity. Followed by the Pelican ProGear Elite 45. This one has wheels. You can get it with or without wheels. Filled to capacity, 5 beverages. Followed by the K2 Summit 50 quart cooler, filled to capacity. Followed by the Engel Deep Blue 50. Again, filled to capacity. This performed really well in the 5-day ice challenge. We'll see how it holds up again. Next up, we have the BlackRock 60, but this is a 52 quart cooler, filled to capacity. Pelican Tailgating cooler. This is a 55 quart cooler, filled to capacity, big cooler. Last but not least is the Orca 58. This one held up really well in the last ice challenge, but was a day behind, so we're going to give it another run. 58 quart cooler. Alright, so now you've just seen all the coolers are filled to capacity with ice and the 5 beverages. We give you a temperature reading on the inside and outside. We'll try to do that midday through every day of this test just to give you an idea. We'll check you back tomorrow morning and let you see what 1 day of progress happens with these high-end rotomotor coolers between 40 and 60 quarts. right, day one of the Ultimate Ice test by coolersonsale.com is in the books. As you just saw, there's not a huge separation after one day. The internal temperatures range from anywhere from 26 degrees to about 31. The cooler lids were anywhere from 66 to about 70 degrees. So all the coolers are really close. If you want to know the leader right off the bat is the Orca 58 and the Pelican Tailgating Cooler 55. They were the lowest internal temperatures at 26 degrees. You'll also notice that the lineup is slightly different today because we grabbed the 3 from this end yesterday and moved them down to this end, because in our last video, the 5-day ice challenge, some people said, oh well, this cooler was exposed to more sunlight or it was on the end. So we're going to negate that by rotating 3 coolers every day. So each cooler gets a chance at the end, the middle, whatever it is. Also, I want to note that all the ice on in these coolers came from the same fish house on the same day. So we have the exact same ice across the board. That's day number 1. We'll pick back up halfway through the day and do a temperature reading of the outside and the inside, and then we'll check you again for an update on day number 2. All right, entering day number 3 of the Ultimate Ice Challenge, brought to you by coolersonsale.com. That's 2 full days, and we're starting to see some separation now after 2 full days in the sun with these coolers. Right off the bat, we're getting a lot of ice melt with the Siberian 40, as well as the Pelican Tailgating Cooler 55 Quart. And the leaders are these 4 on the end: the Pelican ProGear Elite 45 Quart, K2 Summit 50, Engel Deep Blue Series 50, and the Orca 58. Now, it could be that these 4 coolers that are leading the pack after 2 days started in the middle of the series and then moved their way to the end, and now they're at this end of the dock, which is the first sunlight and could be seen as the hottest side of the dock. So keep that in mind. This is 2 full days. We will pick back up for the entering of day number 4. That will be 3 full days of the Ultimate Ice Challenge. Entering day number 4 of the Ultimate Ice Challenge, brought to you by coolersonsale.com. After 3 full days, it's kind of picked back up where we left off yesterday. The leaders are the Orca 58, the Engel Deep Blue 50, and surprisingly today it seems like the BlackRock 60 is really kind of kicking it up there. So those are the 3 leaders right off the bat. After our 5-day ice challenge, the leaders were the Engel and the Orca, so no surprise there. And also I want to mention that the Orca sat all the way at the end yesterday in the sun, so all these coolers have had a fair share throughout the lineup, so we've rotated them around. We got readings of internal and external temperatures. We're getting ready for our Ultimate Tumbler Ice Challenge next, so stay tuned for that, and we'll pick you back up for the entering of day number 5. All right, 4 full days are in the book here at the Ultimate Ice Challenge. We are entering day number 5. Really picking back up where we left off yesterday. The Siberian 40 quart, which is now down there. We've moved the coolers around like we are doing every day to give every cooler a fair chance halfway through the lineup. But the Siberian 40 has about 50-75 chunks of ice, as you'll see, left. So not much ice left in there. That one might check out on the 5th day today. The leaders, if we got to pick a top 5, are the Engel Deep Blue 50, the Orca 58, the K2 Summit 50, the Pelican 45 quart, and the Orion 45 quart. Those are our early leaders. We've got 4 full days. We'll pick back up for 5 days and see if anything's changed, but I anticipate we're just going to expand upon what we've seen already with the leaders taking the pack, and some of these coolers are going to start dropping out. But that's 4 full days. We'll check back in after 5 full days. Entering day number 6 of the Ultimate Ice Challenge. 5 full days are in the book, and we've lost 2 coolers. Checking out yesterday, really about 4.5 days, was the Siberian 40 quart, and we set it off to the side, and also the Pelican Tailgating cooler 55 quart went out this morning. It still had ice in there last night, but this morning it's gone, and I think we were about 40 degrees, 43 degrees, something like that. So I think they just lost, it just finished its ice out there. So that one's checked out. Really surprising that Pelican checked out as early as it did, but I suspect, I'll give you a look of how that cooler is set up. The tailgating cooler has an inside latch on the top of the lid, so you can get in there without having to open it up. So that's actually 2 places that it's gasketed. So there's 2 lids on that cooler, and I suspect that's the issue, because our smaller Pelican, the 45 quart ProGear Elite, is actually holding its own. It's quite strong. It's really hot today. I suspect we're going to lose a few more coolers. There's not that much ice remaining in the Yeti, both the Grizzlies and the Igloo, which leaves us with the rest of the coolers which are leading the pack. I would say the strongest two right now are the Engel Deep Blue 50 and the Orca 58, and the K2 is actually holding its own as well. So that's 5 full days. We're going to let it run until they're all out of ice, so we'll see who's the winner. But anyways, we'll pick back up halfway through the day and then meet back for tomorrow for the entering of day number 7. That would be 6 full days. And then there were only 4 coolers remain after 6 full days. Last night and this morning we had a total of 6 coolers check out. So at about the 5.5 mark last night, we had the BlackRock 60, which is a 52 quart cooler, the Grizzly 40 tan, the Grizzly 40 white, and the Igloo Sportsman 40 quart were all out of ice last night. And then this morning, so about 6 full days, the Yeti Tundra 45 and the Pelican ProGear Elite 45 both were out of ice. So between 5.5 and 6 days, those 6 coolers made it. This leaves us with 4 coolers. This is the Orion 45, the K2 Summit 50, Engel Deep Blue 50, and the Orca 58. And of those 4, the Orca 58 is definitely leading the way. I anticipate we'll lose at least 2, if not all 3 of those coolers on the end today. But we'll pick back up halfway through the day and see if these coolers can maintain it for a full 7 days. And we'll rotate the beverages again at night and see if they check out then. Anyways, this is a 6 full day update for the Ultimate Ice Challenge. We'll pick you back up tomorrow morning. We've reached the end of the Ultimate Ice Challenge, brought to you by CoolersOnSale.com. Last night the Engel Deep Blue Series 50 quart checked out, ran out of ice, and this morning the Orca 58 quart still has about 10 slivers of ice. So 7 full days that the Orca has made it. The Engel Deep Blue made it about 6.5 days. So really impressive from these 2 coolers. Really all the coolers are pretty impressive. They made it 5 days, just about 5 days, and every day has been 90 degrees or hotter here in Florida. So every one of these coolers can last about 5 days, but really impressive from these 2 coolers behind us. We're going to drain these coolers and then we'll have the results directly after, showing you every cooler, how long they lasted, the weight before, the weight after, so you know just how much ice they were holding throughout the challenge. And directly after this challenge, we are going to have a 20-pound bag ice challenge. So we're going to put 20 pounds of ice in every one of these coolers regardless of size and see if that affects ice retention. So subscribe, thanks for watching, stay tuned. This has been CoolersOnSale.com for the Ultimate Ice Challenge, and here come the results.